Prime Minister Mark Carney, meantime, now in Mexico on a big trade trip in the face of Donald Trump's trade war against Canada and Mexico as well. This will be a two-day whirlwind visit, about 36 hours or so. Mark Carney will be in Mexico City as both countries brace for the U.S. planned renegotiation of the continental trade deal that Mexico and Canada have with the U.S. Remember, Mark Carney has long talked about how Canada is one of the best protected countries in the world in terms of a trade deal, because a lot of the trade that goes back and forth across the border is protected under the current deal. If that deal gets renegotiated, then what? That is the question. We also expect Carney to sign a strategic partnership with Mexico's president as well, to cover things like trade, health, agriculture, infrastructure, emergency preparedness, security as well. A lot of this, though, is about navigating the relationship with Trump. Let's bring in political analyst Lori Turnbull, who's standing by here. Good to see you, Lori, on this Thursday. Your take on this trip Mark Carney has made to Mexico now, and how important it is to try, because a lot of times, the priority was really the United States. Makes sense geographically, but now it's looking for new friends. And sometimes, I guess in this case, with the North American Free Trade Agreement, trying to come to terms with Mexico, who's also dealing with Donald Trump and everything that he's been doing there.
Absolutely. I think that Mark Carney governs through relationships to a large extent. And I think when he became prime minister, there was a real sense that he had to try to do some reparations. He had to show up differently, allow Canada to show up differently, especially in the conversation with Donald Trump and with Mexico as well. And I think when we first heard from Donald Trump, the conversations, the threats of tariffs and a trade war and all the rest of it, some of the people responding for Canada, including then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Ontario Premier Doug Ford, didn't have a whole lot of kind words about being kind of put in the same umbrella, put in the same bucket as Mexico, particularly when it came to the issues at the border, just not being happy about that. And so we can see Prime Minister Carney show up. He's a different guy. He's I think, again, letting Canada show up quite differently. And it seems that President Sheinbaum is responding to that, right? She's sort of putting the other stuff in the past and saying, look, happy to start the relationship fresh with Prime Minister Carney.
Yeah, what's the best case scenario here, do you think, for the two countries, Lori?
Honestly, I think some good conversations about what more the two countries can do together. We already have a good base. I mean, the relationship has been in some ways quiet between the two countries for a while. I think we'll see more of that grow, and we'll see more of the business grow between the two countries. But behind the scenes, I think the real value of the conversation is going to be more strategic, how to manage the U.S., if there's a way to manage that. I think that the two leaders do not want the U.S. to feel like this is them having a meeting kind of behind the President Trump's back, and trying to do something without the U.S. It's not so much that as it is seeing what the two countries will be able to do together. And again, having that conversation about what the negotiations of the larger free trade agreement are going to look like.
Lori Turnbull with the latest. Hey, good to see you as always, Lori. Thanks for coming on CTV News today on this one.
You got it. Good to see you too.